grounded in faith, journey alongside Christopher and Marie as they discover the beauty of true intimacy and commitment in a Christ-centered relationship. Both scarred by past heartaches, they find solace and renewed hope in their shared faith in God. As their love blossoms, they navigate the complexities of blending their families and overcoming external doubts. Through tender moments, heartfelt conversations, and unwavering faith, they build a relationship based on mutual respect and pure love. Their journey culminates in a joyous wedding, where they pledge their lives to each other before God and their community. As they embark on married life, Christopher and Marie continue to inspire others with their unwavering faith, love, and dedication to each other.
Welcome to the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show. I am so glad that you were able to tune in with us tonight. It is another amazing episode tonight. I have an amazing guest tonight, Mr. Deric Durden. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Very happy for you to be here tonight. I have been watching your platform on social media, and I was like, this young man has a lot of good things going on. So, very happy that you're able to join us tonight so that we can kind of dive in and talk about some of the things you've got going on. I'm going to read a little bit of your bio, if that's okay, Mr. Deric, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So we've got Mr. Deric Durden. He's a dynamic speaker, published author, has a book by the name of Unstoppable, which came out here in 2024. Life coach, born and raised in Dallas, Texas. Educated in the heart of the metroplex. Deric has a deep passion for people and is a friend to leaders dedicated to guiding the next generation. We are going to talk a little bit about Deric's background, his family, his passions. He is fortunate enough now to work for a Fortune 400 organization, and now recently got a new position with a nonprofit organization in which he is a team leader. And so just a lot going on for this young man. Happy to have him here. Again, welcome, welcome, welcome.
It's definitely a blessing to have this opportunity to be on your platform and really just share some of the things that I've experienced and overcame, and to really hopefully touch your listeners and watchers and give them something that they can value and take and apply to their life and make it a little bit better.
Yes, and that's what it's all about. We are blessed to be able to not only go through some things, but to overcome them so that we can reach back and help other people as well. Good evening, Miss Evelyn. So we are live tonight, Derek. We're going to have several people that will be chiming in on our conversation as we talk. Feel free to ask questions. We will definitely acknowledge you and hopefully be able to answer whatever questions that you may have. Mr. Derek, the very first question that I ask all of my guests is please tell us who is Deric Durden?
Deric Durden is just a young man who has faced many obstacles just like anybody else. And then not only did I overcome, but I was able to strive and become more through those obstacles. And just taking the time to reach back and make sure some people don't make the same mistakes that I made. And so
Yeah,
that's why I share my story. And that's why I do what I do. Because if you take your story and hold it for yourself, you're basically being selfish.
right,
But a lot of
right.
times God allows us to go through things not for only for ourselves, but for others too. And so for me, it's just an opportunity for me to live in my purpose and also be passionate about what I do.
That's amazing. And you know, sometimes there are those of us who find our purpose at 50, 60, 70 years old. So when we actually can take the time to like seek the Lord for our purpose at a younger age, it's even better because then we have more time to actually accomplish more of what he has for us. So I salute you for that. Amen, said Evelyn. Evelyn's one of our faithful viewers tonight. I want to kind of jump into your background a little bit, and then we're going to talk about some of the amazing things that you've got going on. I always kind of like to know what was it like growing up for you? Tell us a little bit about your family, Derek.
Growing up, it was kind of hard. I mean, I grew up. My mother and father really wasn't directly in my life. I was raised by my grandmother. She was
Okay.
disabled, and so she did what she had to do in order to make sure that I had everything that I needed and some of the things that I wanted. And so you
Hmm.
can only imagine because my mother and father each had two daughters, and they was
Okay.
raising their two daughters on both sides. But I was stuck with my grandmother, and it kind of gave me a sense of abandonment, a sense of neglect,
Yeah.
and I kind of carried that with me through life, and it made me, resentful to a certain degree until I was
Mhm.
able to get to the point to forgive and to really build a relationship with both of my parents.
Thank God you were able to do that. And you know, I say all the time, we can hold things against our family, but it doesn't, you know, really profit us to do that. And then the good thing about it is when we can step outside of ourselves and look at our parents through the eyes of the Lord, then we have more grace. You know, we're not most of us we're not fully equipped with everything that we need, you know. And we are a product of our environment, should you say, right? So whatever you know, however you were raised, whatever you came up in, that's kind of what you know. A lot of times our parents do the best job that they can. It may not be necessarily what we needed or what we
And that
thought we needed. Yeah,
and that thought within itself was what really allowed me to forgive my parents, because one thing I understand, you can't give to your children or anyone else what you don't have for yourself. And
yeah,
so just understanding that my parents grew up in adverse situations, and it became a generational cycle.
yeah.
And just understanding that because my mom left home at 15, she had me at
Mm,
18.
yeah,
So you can only imagine a young woman trying to traverse the world at the age of 15, on
yeah,
her own. And then you
yeah.
also, my dad, he had issues with his father growing up. So it's just, like I say, a continuous, a perpetual cycle of generational curses, generational bad decisions that, one day somebody has to break them, and I'm trying to be that individual.
Sounds like you're already doing that. Before we went live, I just asked Mr. Derek a series of questions, and this young man has managed to do a lot of things in just a very short period of time. We're going to talk about a few of those things here, but yeah, you go ahead and speak that. You've already done that. And it just, you know, something that's going to be a continuation of what you're doing. So, family life, you said you had two sisters on both sides, so you're kind of the middle one, huh?
Well, I'm the oldest on one, and then I'm the middle on my mom's side. So
Okay, okay. Now, what part did faith play when you were growing up? Did you always have like a childhood where you were in church, or did you know the Lord at a young age, or did that come, later in life? Kind of tell us what faith looked like in your life when you were growing up.
Growing up as a kid, I really got in church probably around sixth grade. I
Okay.
probably went for the wrong reasons, but I was there. And
Yeah.
so I I didn't really understand at that age. You're really not understanding uh, what God is, or how to apply your life to what God is, the teachings that Jesus provided. And so for
Right.
me, I was, like I said, I was going for the girls. I wasn't going for the word. But
Yeah.
sometimes when you in the right place for the wrong reason, you can get some benefits from it also. So
Right.
for me,
Right.
it, it was it was it was a foundation. I was able to build a foundation on the word, even though I was kind of young and going for the wrong reasons. But I did receive some things in that process.
Yeah. That's the thing about the Lord. We may not always have the right intent, but the Holy Spirit has a way of still showing up on the scene, right?
For sure.
Yeah. So we talked about your family life, your faith, and I know with your grandma raising you, I mean, grandmas kind of have a way about it, don't they? I mean, they gonna make sure that you're going on Sundays and Wednesdays. And was your grandma one of those kind like mine?
No, my grandmother really, she wasn't really in the church. I feel like
Okay,
she had such a trouble. She was going through. Like I say, she was disabled. She had
got
been injured by somebody. She
mm,
had. She always used to tell me the story. Like at one point, she was in a wheelchair because
huh.
somebody had hit her in the head and she was disabled. But I was a
Oh,
young kid. I was a young
uh-huh.
kid. At that time, I was wearing cowboy boots all the time. So she
Yeah.
always tell me the story that one day I made her mad. She made me mad. And so I had on my cowboy boots and I kicked her in the leg. And she said she jumped out that chair and chased me around the house. And that was the first time she walked in a long time.
Oh,
So
wow. Yeah. Okay. Well, sounds like she was quite entertaining.
yeah, she one of them grandmamas. She was gonna pick up something and hit you if she couldn't reach you. So yeah, she
Okay.
definitely was a disciplinarian.
Yeah. So I know we're going to talk a little bit about your journey. I know that you had a journey of incarceration, 17 years in incarceration. But you weren't, there's people that say, you can be in somewhere, but your mind can be somewhere else.
Right.
And I would like to believe that was the case for you, because you said something. You said when you were released that you were focused, and you
Right.
took that being focused and just went on a mission to change your life and do so many amazing things. So that tells us that your mind wasn't trapped there, that you had purpose, and you looked at it from the inside out. Tell me about what that looked like, the 17-year journey of incarceration.
Well, the journey was a journey of finding myself
Okay.
because growing up, especially in my high school years, I was popular. I played basketball, I was a star football player. So popularity was something that fed my ego.
Okay.
However, it did not fill the voids that was left from the absence of my mother and father. And
Mm-hmm.
so
Okay.
in that in those voids, I was making decisions in order to be liked, or quote unquote what I thought was liked by
Mm-hmm.
individuals,
Yeah.
when truly it was just trying to be accepted. And so
Yeah.
when I was ripped away from society and placed in a place where I really had to stand on my own,
Yeah.
all I had was myself and the word, basically, or
Yeah.
myself and learning. And for me, I tapped into reading books. Reading
Mm-hmm.
books is one of the things that really changed my life.
Okay.
Being able to, because when you read a book, you're taking somebody else's perspective and you're taking it within. So you
Right.
have individuals like Robert Kiyosaki, who I learned about finance. I
Mm-hmm.
looked at Stephen Covey, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And I've read hundreds of books during that period
Yeah.
of time, and it really changed the paradigm of my mind. And I
Mm,
also participated in the courses that they provided within the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, because
mm,
prison does not rehabilitate you. They do give you some tools that if you utilize, you can rehabilitate yourself,
mm.
but the system itself is not going to rehabilitate you. And
Yeah.
so not only that, I was able to go ahead and get me a college degree. I
Okay.
was just, because at the end of the day, it's not what you do when you get out, it's how you prepare yourself while you're inside of there. So if you use
Ooh.
your time in order to play dominoes or watch football or play basketball all day, every day, if you're not really building yourself up, then you're not preparing yourself to do anything different than what you were doing before you went in.
Right. Oh, that's good. That is,
Because,
hold on, hold on. When people say profound stuff, I like for you to like repeat it and say it again in slow motion, Derek, so everybody can get that. You said when people play dominoes, repeat it from there.
I mean, you can sit and play dominoes, you play basketball, watch football, but if you're not doing what it takes in order to prepare yourself while you're in that situation might be a divorce, that situation might be bankruptcy, that situation might be a toxic relationship. If you're not
Yeah.
preparing for something better, once you
Mm,
outside of that, then
yeah.
you're going to continue to get those same results. How many times do we see individuals who are in toxic relationship get out
Yeah.
of it, jump into another relationship without doing a process of healing, and get the same
Mm,
result? And wonder and always blame it on the other individual instead of trying to take the time in
wow.
order to heal ourselves. And so that's what it
Wow.
really is about. And one of the things I always thought about was you have to get outside of prison before you leave it. Because if you don't, then you're gonna take prison with you wherever you go.
Say it again. Say it again. You are full of a lot of nuggets. I love it. Okay, say it again.
You have to get outside of prison before you leave prison. Because if you don't, you're gonna take prison with you. And that's with anything else, though. Prison is just one example. People
Yes.
like look at prison, like look down on prison, but like I said, a prison you can
Yeah.
be in a bad relationship, and that's considered a prison. You're stuck in a bad situation. It could be a bad relationship. It can be financial situation. It can be the loss of a
Wow.
loved one, loss
Yeah.
of somebody you truly love. All those things can put you inside what can be looked
Wow.
at or defined as a prison.
Yeah. Wow. Let me read some of the comments. My Lord, that's powerful. Woo wee! Wow, that is some strong, powerful words. And Jesus, yes, I'm with all of the comments. That is a good word. You have to leave. Your mind have to leave the prison. Pretty much, your mind has to leave before your body, because if
Hmm.
not, you're going to take the prison system, the prison mindset, right, with
Hmm.
you, and that's going to hold you back. Oh my God, that is a word. Oh wow, Mr. Derek. Okay, okay, that is good right there. So you may have made a mistake as to why you were there, but once you got there, once the Lord got you in that place of isolation, and he was able to talk to you, to minister you, because sometimes the Lord allows things to happen because he's got to get us in a place where he can talk to us. He has to sit us down and literally be able to school us, to raise us up, to grow us up. When we were talking before we got started, one of the things you said is you grew up, you learned. And so maturity, we've got to get to a place of maturity. Miss Evelyn said, come on here, Derek. Help me tonight. Help tonight.
And in that
Amen.
situation, we can't let our past define us. Our past
Yeah,
is only was to refine us, not define us. And
that's
so
right.
when we going through those tough situations, those hard times, it's our
Hmm.
opportunity to grow.
Yeah,
It's not about finding blame. It's not about finding fault. It's about looking within and really allowing those situations to make us better, to transform us into the person who we really designed to be. Because if we don't,
yeah,
if we sit there and harp on the bad times, then we won't take the initiative in order to learn from those lessons and use those lessons in order to catapult us into the life and the person that we need to be.
yeah. Whoa. Okay, that is amazing. That is amazing. Now it's up to you if you want to share more in depth. I mean, I'm happy with what you said about the mindset of when you were there incarcerated. Do you want to, for the young people that are watching, do you want to talk about what led you to going into prison? As a sign of what not to do, or and to use that in some type of way to minister to young people. What would you like to say about that? A lot of times peer pressure can be something that happens not necessarily to everybody, but what would you like to say about that?
I briefly touched on it, but I'll go a little further into it. The one thing I learned about was the power of association. For me, I
Mm,
was never a bad individual. Uh, just searching for acceptance,
hmm.
led me to join a gang and hanging out with the wrong crowd. I was, like I said, a star football player, a star basketball player,
Yeah.
graduated as a Texas scholar, scored so
Hmm.
high on my SAT that I didn't have to take college entry exams. I had
Wow.
scholarships waiting on
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
full ride scholarships.
Mm,
But
yeah.
in order to, try to fill that void of being accepted, I made bad decisions, which took me away from that. There was
Yeah.
other situations like um, relationships I was in with females that put me in a situation where I just felt like I had a responsibility, but come to find out that responsibility wasn't even mine. And
Yeah.
so I made the decision to try to step up and be the man I was supposed to be, even though that turned out to be a situation that wasn't even my responsibility at the end of the day.
Yeah. Wow. So association matters. It
Of course.
matters it matters who we attach ourselves to. It matters if we are followers or if we're leaders. It matter motives matter for all of those, not just young people, for people in general that are watching. It matters what we do. So we have to really think about consequences and choices. Sometimes we can be doing things with good intent, but it still not be the right things, right?
And not to interrupt you, but just like it works in a negative way, it works in a
Yeah,
positive way.
yeah,
So for me, after release, I surrounded myself with Pastor Ricardo Miller. I surrounded
yeah,
myself with guys like Isaiah Rucker. These individuals are actually doing some positive things in the community. Miss
yeah,
Latange Woods, Mr. U. These
yeah,
individuals are really having an impact in the community, and they're really stepping out and leading by example. They're just not talking about what's the right thing to do. They're actually living it.
right,
And so
right.
just like the negative environment rubs off on you, so does the positive. And if it wasn't for some of those individuals that I just named, I wouldn't be half of where I am now.
That's a blessing. And I know Coach Ricardo, we talked about that a little bit before we got started. Amazing, amazing man of God, very inspirational. He actually comes on in the mornings on Facebook, Effective Living, and just very encouraging. I mean that he is the coach. He is the person that you definitely want to receive mentorship from. Wow, that's the blessing from Evelyn. Thank you all who have tuned in tonight. We are talking to Deric Durden, and he has given us some amazing nuggets tonight. Just an amazing young man. Got a lot of positive things going on. Speaker, author, life coach. Has taken some things that could have been just bad situations, but he's turned them around, and been able to use those things to push him into his purpose. And so tonight, this is an amazing, amazing conversation. Tell me a little bit about your book, Unstoppable. Let's talk about your book, Unstoppable.
And Unstoppable goes back to the idea of not letting our past define us. We
Okay.
have people like Simone Biles, who is the GOAT of gymnastics, has more
Mhm.
medals than anybody who ever participated in the sport. But she grew up in foster care.
Right.
You have so many individuals who went through such hard times, went through such tough situations. But it seems like the people who go through the toughest things become the strongest people. And so
Mm.
for me, just like I stand on that, I don't really bring it up, but
Yeah.
me going through 17 years of prison, it made me stronger. It made me more of a founded on like principles and goals. It exposed me to so many things. It slowed me down and took me away from the fast pace of life in order for me to slow down and
Mm.
build myself up. And so a
Yeah.
lot of times, just that isolation, going through so many tough things,
Hmm.
because either you're gonna break down or you're gonna get a breakthrough.
Ooh, there you go
If
again.
you,
There you go again.
and so,
You're gonna either break down or you're gonna break through. Woo,
and
I
that's the
like
only
it.
those are
Yeah,
two choices you have. So when you're going
yeah.
through those tough times, you're either gonna break down or break through. You know,
Down or break through. Yeah,
and so getting to that next level, you if you really want to become who you're destined to be, who God created you to be, to live out your mission,
yeah,
why you are created to be here on earth, you got to go for the breakthrough. You
yeah,
can't settle for the breakdown. And so,
yeah.
and that's how I live my life. And that's what the book is basically about: unstoppable. No matter what
Unstoppable.
force comes against you, no matter the
Yeah,
people, the situation that come against
yeah,
you, that you can still get past those, overcome those. If you have to go around, over, under, through, you can still
mm,
get past them and then
yeah,
become the person that you're supposed to be and become unstoppable.
yeah. That's the thing. When obstacles come, and they will come in some form of another, we have to have our mind made up that we're going to be the men and women that the Lord called us to be. Let's see. Miss Evelyn says you're either gonna break down or break through, Jesus. Yes, Miss Evelyn. Yes, yes. This is a very good word. I know that we are encouraging some people on tonight, Deric. I know this is a very inspirational message tonight. Tell me a little bit about your new assignment with the nonprofit. Kind of tell us a little bit about the nonprofit that you are a part of, and kind of tell us what that position looks like in the community.
The new position is with Torch. It's teens overcoming obstacles through resilience, character, and heart. And
Okay.
so I understand that my teen years was the time that I went through that I made the most detrimental, most important decisions that really affected the rest of my life. And
Mm,
so that's
hmm.
what I do as my position of being a director for the kids, the teens. It is my job to take everything that I went through
Yeah.
and package it in a way that those individuals, those teens, can receive it, not only
Hmm.
receive it, but apply it to their lives.
Yeah.
Because information is not power, information is only potential. Once
Right.
that information is applied, then it becomes power. Then it can take you to the next level. Then it can fuel you in order to be what you're supposed to be. And so for
Mhm.
me, just being looked at in a light, to be 2 years away from prison, to be
Mm,
looked at in a light that somebody would trust me with the
mm,
position of being a director on the board of a nonprofit organization,
yeah.
to really pour into the lives of these teenagers. Even though
Yeah.
I've already I'm speaking at different events to the teens.
Yeah.
It's just really understanding the responsibility that is placed on you when you're
Yeah.
speaking over the lives of these young teenagers who
Yeah.
can take your message and either change the direction of their life for the positive or for a negative. And so that's a
Yeah.
huge responsibility, and I don't take
Yes,
it
it is.
lightly. I
Yes.
don't take
Yeah.
it lightly because it's it's, it's a responsibility. It's a stewardship.
Yeah.
I have been given that in order to make sure that I make the right decisions, not only for myself but for others as well.
Yes. Miss Evelyn said it really good. She said purpose. You have been chosen for a time such as this. Everything that you went through that the enemy used for, the downfall and for the destruction, the Lord has a way of turning things around, and he makes it for our good. And then when he puts you in that place that he has for you and the plan that he has for you, all the things that we go through make sense. In the end, it makes sense. It doesn't always look good or feel good in the moment. But I thank God that all things do work together for the good of them that love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. Miss Evelyn said, my story. Yes, yes, Miss Evelyn. is in the process of writing a book right now, and um, pain has a purpose.
Mm.
And I tell you what, like I was just saying, pain does not feel good, but when we get to the other side, right, Derek? When we get to
Right.
the other side, um, wow, amazing, amazing, amazing. Um, so, what have you been able to accomplish since your release? We've got the degree, we've
Mhm.
got the nonprofit, we've got the book, we've got you're working with the Fortune 500 organization, Vistra. What else you got going? You got about 5 or 6 things you're doing in this short period of time. You've
I'm
got a lot
actually
going
I'm actually the host a monthly podcast called Build Your Best Life Conversation with the Guys. I have been
on.
given
Okay,
that responsibility to be the host monthly on that. I am speaking at different events. I'm partnered with my good friend Isaiah Rucker. We're doing different events and I'm assisting and helping in that.
okay,
Really just and also I want individuals to know, especially anybody who's going through anything.
yeah,
You don't have to have it figured out right now.
no, mm-mm.
Even though I'm accomplishing what I'm accomplishing, I
Yeah,
still don't have it figured out. I'm still
yeah,
searching and trying to understand parts of myself and where I'm going in life.
yeah,
Because we can plan,
yeah,
but plans don't always go as we plan.
yeah,
Life happens as the quote unquote life be life, and as people say now, and
yeah, yeah,
so you have to be adaptable. Stick to your plan, stick to your the end goal, but be
yeah,
adaptable in how you're going to get there.
yeah,
So for me, I don't have it all figured out.
yeah.
I don't think nobody does. If they do, please tell me the secret because I'm
No.
very open to listen. But also just really think about stay focused because there's so many distractions. There's so many
Oh, that is a big.
social media,
Yeah,
relationships,
yeah,
uh, Netflix, whatever.
mm,
There's so many distractions. You have to stay focused in a time where the
yeah,
attention span is for 2 to 3 seconds at the most. So
yeah.
for me, that's one of the key things I want everybody to do: stay focused, stay consistent, and
Yeah.
just really focus on what the end goal is.
That is a that you said a word right there. I've been saying the D word. Um, that has been something that the Lord has talked to me about a lot. Distractions. When we get distracted by people, places, and things, we lose focus on what we're trying to do for the Lord. And the enemy is real good at that, having distractions in our lives. But we have to keep our eyes on the Lord, on the prize, and make sure that we don't stray from that. And you were saying you don't know it. None of us know everything. But see, that's the beauty in it. We have to continually seek Him and trust in Him so that as we go, and that's the key thing, we just have to get going. We have to actually step out and start walking, and then He reveals it as we go. Because if He told us all of it, Derek, we probably wouldn't get going. If He had shown you, in order for you to get over here, you got to go through this right here. Most of us will be like, what made? Let's redo this right here.
Right,
Yeah, that's the good thing about the Lord is He gives us enough to show us okay what He's going to use us to do, but we can't handle the journey, so we just have to get going. So for those of you that are not sure where the Lord is leading you, seek the Lord, seek Him for the plan that He has for you, and you seek that information by relationship. You develop a relationship with the Lord so that He can clearly tell you specifically what His plan is for you. Let's see, we won't move. Miss Evelyn, I have to say this one, Miss Evelyn. She said you about to make me throw my phone. I love her. But yeah, seek the Lord. Just get started. Whatever it is that you feel like the Lord is leading you to do, you pray about it. And once the Lord gives you the go, then you just get started and watch resources show up. He will have people to just show up in your life, whether it be through phone calls, through events that you're going to, it doesn't matter. I know one of the most miraculous things that's happened to me, Derek, since I've been going is just on this new journey is I have found myself at events where people just come up and start giving me free information that I have been wondering, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? And people will literally just come up to me and start telling me, oh, I'm doing this. And I'll be like, well, how did you do that? And they literally just start telling me. And I'm like, wow, you know, and then, people who paid money for workshops
Hmm.
will just give me the free information. But see, that's what the Lord will do when we just get started.
For
Have
sure.
you noticed things like that for yourself as well?
I mean, in so many different instances, so many doors have been
Yeah,
opened for me that I couldn't have
yeah,
opened on my own. Got to
yeah,
think about it, from my job to just being on. I've been on podcasts all across the United States and in the
yeah,
Bahamas. Not
yeah,
by my neck, but not by me, my own efforts. Just
yeah,
been those been opportunities that have been presented to me that fell in my lap,
yeah,
and it's just been such a blessing. Every time it comes, I just continue to stay grateful, can continue to stay humble, and because I can't take credit for something I know I didn't do on my own. And so for me,
right.
it's just been a continuous blessing after blessing, miracle, doors
Yeah,
open. Just like the being a director of over the nonprofit, it was, I didn't ask for it.
yeah,
It was just a
yeah,
blessing. Miss Woods just took. She prayed about it. She said God led her to do that. And like
mm,
I said, how can I take credit for something that I didn't do? And so that's
yeah,
what keeps me humble. Even though
yeah,
yes, I put in the work, I did my most of my hard work inside of prison, correcting
yeah,
myself, getting myself to be the person that I needed
yeah,
to be. So when the opportunity came, that I could live up to it and execute in that. Because one thing I always say, if you're in prison, prison is either gonna be your grave or it's gonna be a garden. You're gonna be buried
ooh,
either way.
your
So are you gonna
grave
be
or your card. You got to say it again, right? You know,
well?
hey, listen now, Derek. About 4 or 5 times, you know the routine. Say it again and say it slow.
So and I'm gonna take the word prison. Your tough situation is either gonna be a grave or a garden. Either you're gonna be planted or you're gonna be buried. But either way, you're gonna be up under the dirt in those tough
Yeah.
situations. So are you gonna
Wow.
be a seed and germinate and bring forth life, or are you gonna be buried in the grave and die? It's your choice.
Jesus. Wow. Miss Lantage has entered the scene. She said, good evening and keep impacting Arthur Stephanie M. Seaton and Mr. Derek Durden. Purposeful living. Amazing lady. I have had the pleasure of meeting her on several different occasions. She's been a supporter of several of my books as well. Really, really amazing lady. Miss Evelyn said, woo, my Lord. Miss Evelyn, listen, this has been a really good conversation tonight. We are talking to Deric Durden. He is the author of a book called Unstoppable. He is team leader of the Torch nonprofit organization. Got a lot of amazing things going on, a testimony that needs to be told. He is speaking he is accepting speaking engagements, mentorship programs. Listen, you need to reach out to this young man if you need someone to talk. It doesn't have to be a young audience. He is just a motivational speaker, period, that would make a difference in the room. How can people get in touch with you, Derek? Give them your contact information.
I'm on Facebook as Deric C. Durden. I'm on Instagram, Deric C. Durden. I'm on TikTok, is Deric D90. I have my own website, DericDurdenLLC.com. I have, you can reach me directly. I have my business number. It's on Google, it's on Bing, it's on Yelp. And just reach out to me because what I provide is a different experience. You
Yeah.
have a lot of people who come out and motivate, come out and inspire, teach programs from a standpoint of what they learn, but I teach
Right.
from experience.
Yeah.
What I give, you can't get out of a textbook. What I give, you can't
Mhm.
get out of a course. What I give is
Yeah.
true life experiences.
Yeah.
I, I, I I am really, truly what they call certified because I went through it. Not only did I
Mm.
go through it, but I came out better Then when I
Mm.
went
Woo!
into, and so
Whoa!
for me,
Yeah.
it don't
Mm.
matter if it's a church, I share my
Yeah.
testimony. If it's a
Yeah.
school, I share
Yeah.
my story to inspire and encourage and guide these young children. If it's a company who you need motivation to produce more productivity or revenue, I can
Yeah.
inspire them and really show them about leadership and connection because I've
Yeah.
been in Toastmasters, I've been the vice president of education in Toastmasters, and
Yeah.
leadership and speaking are skills that I have developed over time. I'm not just doing this from the hip. I'm
Right.
actually been
Right.
trained. I've been putting in the work. This is, and I just really, not only do I do it because I'm good at it, I do it
Yeah.
because it's part of my purpose. It's part of my
Yeah.
passion. And so what I
Yeah.
bring is something unique, something that can't be duplicated, and something that
Yeah.
you can't find anywhere else.
Yes, yes. So you have heard it here. Mr. Deric Durden has given his powerful, amazing testimony. He has given all of his contact information on how you can reach out to him. If you have an event, a conference, a whatever you've got going on that you need someone to come and speak, he is available. Let's see. Miss Lantage said, "My Lord." Evelyn said, "I pray that God keeps His loving hands wrapped all around you. God is going to get the glory out of this. Amen. Amen." I'm going to give you three words, Derek, as we get ready to close on tonight. I'm going to give you three words, and I want you to tell me which one stands out the most for you, and then tell me why. Okay. So we've got healing, empowerment, and transformation. Which one of those stands out the most, and tell us why?
I would say transformation because the other two are wrapped up inside of it.
Mm,
When you,
mm-hmm.
it's like we hear this metaphor of the caterpillar that turns into the butterfly, which
Yeah.
is basically the transformation. But in order
Mm-hmm.
for you to transform, you have to go inside. You have to be inside of a situation that gives you the opportunity in order to struggle. Because we
Mm.
all know that the butterfly inside of the cocoon, the only way that his wings will be strong enough in order for him to fly once he's outside of the cocoon, he has to use those wings in order to break through the cocoon in order to build the strength
Woo!
so he can be able to
Woo!
fly.
Oh my
And
God!
so it's inside
Woo!
those two situations that we get our strength through our struggle.
Mm. Yes.
The only time that we're going to get any strength, anytime you're going to get stronger from lifting weights, you got to go through the struggle lifting weights
Gotta
or
go.
whatever
Yeah.
it may be. So at
Yeah.
the end of the day, it's about transformation because it's only through
Mm.
our struggles that we gain more strength in order to
Yeah.
become, soar, and be the people and fly the way we're supposed to fly in life.
Evelyn said she threw the phone. Derek, somehow I knew she was gonna say that.
Right?
Listen, you have said some amazing and truly encouraging things tonight, young man. I am so glad that you accepted the invitation to come on tonight. This has been a blessing talking to you and being able to hear your perspective on the things that you have been through and just seeing how in such a short period of time you have managed to turn so many things around. I truly salute you. Just a blessing. Miss Luntage says, wisdom. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Miss Luntage, you made an amazing decision in choosing Mr. Derek for this opportunity. What would you like to say in closing, Derek, to that young person or even older person that's watching that's maybe struggling with finding their purpose? What do you say to them?
I recently heard a statement like, when you find your purpose is when whatever it takes you the least amount of energy to do that you truly desire, that comes natural to you with fulfilling a need, fulfilling a void to others, that's when
Yeah,
you find your purpose. Whatever comes
okay.
natural to you at the same time filling the void, that's really what your purpose is in life. That's what you were designed to do.
Yeah,
And so
your
for me,
passion.
passion, not only
Yeah.
passionate, but like I said, what God, because a lot of times we hear the story about the story of the talents in the Bible, those
Hmm.
things that were given to him and what was done with him. And
Yeah.
so inside of all of us, there were talents, qualities, and skills placed inside of us at birth. How we
Right.
develop them, how we utilize them, and how we use them in order to make other people's lives better.
Yeah.
That's when we're really walking in our purpose.
Yeah. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Listen, Mr. Derek, thank you so much for being here tonight, for being open, for being transparent, and sharing your journey with us tonight. He is in the process of working on another book. He will be talking about that sometime later. Make sure that you check him out. He has given us all of his contact information, so make sure that you check him out. We are going to get out of here, but I tell you what, again, thank you, thank you, thank you. Any closing thoughts, anything that we left on the table, Mr. Derek? What would you like to say?
I mean, what I would like to do is if there's any questions that anybody that's watching, if they have any questions, I would love to answer any questions if they have any.
If you have, yes, if you have any questions, please go ahead and get in the comments and let us know what your questions are for Mr. Derek. He is able to get those questions. If you want to reach out to him, make sure that you reach out to him to get him booked.
But
We definitely need to make sure that you reach out and get him booked to be able to come and speak.
and it can be any type of question. It can be relationship. It can be whatever you want. I mean, I'm open to any and everything because at the end of the day, it's not about me and my story. It's about how I can help you, and I don't know how I can help you unless you ask the question that need to be asked.
We are open for questions and comments at this time. We've had some amazing feedback from the questions and the comments that we have gotten. Just amazing. Miss Cynthia said, "Great interview, Derek. Keep allowing God to use you. You are making a difference." You definitely have received a lot of encouragement tonight, Derek. To just keep doing the things that you are doing. Miss Evelyn said, "God keep His loving hands wrapped around you." She's been encouraged. Miss Lantage, wisdom, just amazing, amazing how you're impacting people. Miss Cynthia said favor. Uh, just so many different people that have chimed in. And so, again, thank you, thank you, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for tuning in to another amazing edition of the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show. We will be back on next week where we will have several interviews. This Thursday is Thanksgiving, so I'm sure we're all going to be having our Thanksgiving festivities going on. So we will be back on Tuesday of next week. But have an amazing Thanksgiving. Enjoy your family and friends. And we will see you back on next week. Hold tight there, Mr. Derek, okay? Thank you, thank you, thank you for all of you that have tuned in today.
If you would like to be a guest on the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show, email Stephanie at stephanieMSeatontheauthor@gmail.com.